everyone, what is going on? So we are doing more Ferocious Cup battles. I am trying out Flying Eagles' team. He is the one who won the Richmond tournament. So congratulations to you. And yeah, you really deserve that. I watched King's replay and that was absolutely fantastic. Amazing plays, really nice performance. And I'm just trying out the team just to see how it works. Now, obviously, you have to keep in mind that my team, while I'm using the same Pokemon, it's probably not the same moveset. I know he was using Gyro Ball on Alolan Sandslash. I don't have that on mine. I have Bulldoze. But yeah, I also have Flamethrower and Skunk Tank. I don't know if he was using Sludge Bomb or not. I assume he was, but maybe he wasn't. I don't know. But either way, the Flamethrower did help me knock out the Alolan Sandslash, so that was really nice. Another thing I wanted to let you guys know, the new cup should be announced on Saturday the 7th, not Saturday, Sunday the 17th, if everything stays the same and they continue to do how they've been doing it. So we will have a discussion video on that day if they announce it on Sunday. We'll see. I'm not really sure. Maybe they'll change things up, but maybe they will announce it. I'm looking forward to a new cup. I do really enjoy the Ferocious Cup, but after you've been playing it for about a month, it gets a little bit tiring, I guess. I mean, that's a fair point, isn't it? I still like it. It's one of my favorite cups, but I'd like to try something new, so I am looking forward to whatever cup that happens to be. And yeah, who knows what's going to be. I can't even make a prediction anymore. I posted on Twitter asking if people had predictions of it, and I'm not even going to start predicting it or make a video of predicting it because there's really nothing I could say. I mean, if they could do something like the Ferocious Cup with Pokemon that have tails, and they could do anything they want, right? You know, so I have absolutely no idea. It might not be based on types. It might be. I don't really know, but we'll find out. Anyway, we do go ahead and win game 1 with that Alolan Ninetales, so way to go. I am battling jokes, by the way, as you can see, so not too many battles. I think we have 6 battles in this video, so it was definitely a lot of fun. We each won 3 of them, spoiler warning, but it was definitely a lot of fun. This team was definitely a lot of fun. I think I need more practice with Suicune because sometimes I'm not sure if it's right to charge up to Hydro Pump and go for the Bubble Beam or straight for the Hydro Pump, or should I just go for Bubble Beam immediately and then they'll know it's a Bubble Beam because they'll be counting, but I do want to lower that attack. So sometimes it's like I'm not sure what the correct play is, so I definitely need more practice with Suicune, but it is a good Pokemon, obviously. But anyway, he has a Raichu out against my Umbreon, hitting me with the Wild Charge. I do allow that to go through. I'm going to go ahead and fire off a Foul Play. He will block that, so we're taking a shield from him. Very nice. Very nice. And we're just going to go ahead and take this attack. It is going to be a Brick Break. We actually survive it, but unfortunately, we're not able to get to another Foul Play. I knew I'd survive that Brick Break. I really didn't think I would get to a Brick Break, but unfortunately. Anyway, I'm taking this attack knowing that it is a Brick Break as well, so no reason to shield that one up. He switches, I switch immediately, and then he switches as well, and his Pokemon is invisible, so at that point, I really didn't know what Pokemon he had. You know, it was some sort of glitch. Probably would have restarted the game in tournament because I have no idea what's going on. I did look up and see that it was an Umbreon, but who knows? I may have changed my plays had I known what was going on, although I couldn't switch at this point, so I'm not really too sure. It was a little bit confusing, but it happens sometimes. But yeah, he immediately switched into Umbreon after I pulled the blind switch. But anyway, I do go ahead and shield up that Foul Play. I think I burned both of my shields on this Umbreon. That might have been a mistake. Probably was, actually. But right now I'm going to burn it. I should have saved it for my Pokemon in the back, which I believe it's that Alolan Ninetales. Probably should have saved my shields there so I could have knocked out the Umbreon, and then I would have been able to farm down with Alolan Ninetales and still have 2 shields, right? So probably should have played that way, but that's not what happened. Anyway, he hits me with an Aqua Tail, and I can't block it because I have no more shields. Unfortunately, he cannot get to that Psyshock. If I still had a shield, I could have. I bring in B-Barrel, and he will hit me with a charge move. Let's see what move it is. It is Aqua Tail, and that's going to be enough to not knock me out, but he finishes me off with Water Gun. So, yeah, I feel like I should have not shielded twice to protect B-Barrel. I feel like I should have let B-Barrel go down earlier than it did, and then come in with Alolan Ninetales, finish up with Charms against the Umbreon, and maybe shield if I have to, and then use Alolan Ninetales to finish up his Vaporeon with Charms. And maybe I would have had a shield or 2 left. Maybe I should have done something like that. I'm not really too sure, but again, it was kind of confusing with that Pokemon turning invisible. I don't know. But either way, That's okay. We're going to jump into another one. I do hit him with Flamethrower because Crunch will not be doing a lot of damage, and I don't anticipate the shield because Umbreon can take a Flamethrower, a Sludge Bomb, and a Crunch. But obviously he knows I have Flamethrower at this point because I used it earlier to knock out his Sand Slash. So I'm going to go ahead and go for another Flamethrower, and not expecting a shield as he does not shield. So at least we do a decent amount of damage, or a lot of damage to the Umbreon. I do decide to shield up that Foul Play, so using both shields early on, I just wanted to see what would happen if I protected my Pokemon early on, even though, I mean, I am out both shields, so it's not a good position for me. He brings in Raichu. Unfortunately, I cannot get to Crunch before he gets to a charge move, which will be Brick Break, and that will knock me out. Again, really unfortunate. I bring in my Alolan Ninetales to charm him down. He does get to a charge move, which is what I figure going to be Wild Charge. There's really no reason not to Wild Charge at this point. And then he switches out immediately into his Vaporeon. I switch into Suicune. A little too late on the switch, but I do go ahead and switch it in, and then I take this attack. It is Last Resort. I do decide to go for the Hydro Pump because I was thinking, well, maybe he won't use the shield, expecting the Bubble Beam, and even if he expects the Hydro Pump, he could still take it. But no, he does block, which is obviously the correct play. Even if it was a bluff, it would have still been the correct play. But anyway, he hits me with Aqua Tail. I actually survive it, and then we go ahead and fire off a Bubble Beam. He actually shields this one as well. Again, that is the correct play because, yeah, he just not taking any chances, right? So I bring in my Ninetales, and he finishes me off. So, again, burning my shields early, so probably not necessary. But either way, good game. Nonetheless, good game. So we're going to jump into another one. I do lead with my Alolan Ninetales this time, and he leads with Raichu again. He's been leading with Raichu like every game, but that's okay. He switches out into Vaporeon. I pull the switch immediately. That was a blind switch, and I'm trying to get to Hyper Fang. He does go ahead and hit me with what I only assumed to be a Last Resort as it is, and I decide to go ahead and bluff him this time. I was hoping to catch the shield. Obviously, it would be bad for me if I didn't catch it, but I do hit him with the Surf, and he does shield, so that was good for me. He is going to fire off a charge move. I do decide to block that because I was like, well, I really want to get to that Last Resort, and we do get to it, and I'm going to hit it. So we're either going to take his last shield or knock him out. Let's see. We do take his last shield, so at least we took both shields, so he has no shields left. I have one, although he does have switch advantage, so you do have to watch out for that. I bring in Umbreon knowing I could take Aqua Tails as well as Last Resort. I figured the Aqua Tails would be coming, and then he switches out into Raichu. I pull the switch into my Alolan Ninetales. I'm not really thinking about it, just switching. He does hit me with a Wild Charge, which I allow to go through. And then he's going to hit me with another charge move. I do decide to shield this one up because I was confident I could knock out Raichu before he got to another one, and I do have Psyshock ready to go. So I do use it. He brings in his Vaporeon, totally fine with me. I am going to go ahead and hit him, and unfortunately I couldn't get off one more charm to knock him out. That's okay. I bring in Umbreon to charge up energy, so I have Last Resort as well as Foul Play ready to go. His final Pokemon is that Umbreon, so I am going to go ahead and hit that Last Resort. I did not think I would be winning this game because he has more health, although I do have more energy, right? So I do have that going for me. So it's going to be tight either way, but at this point, I just have to fire off Last Resorts, as does he, you know. We've seen this time and time again, Last Resort versus Last Resort. No reason not to go for it. But I'm actually able to get to 3 Last Resorts when he can only get to 1. So that was pretty cool for me. Luckily, I was able to charge up energy prior to that Umbreon coming in. He's going to go ahead and get off another charge move. It is going to be a Last Resort, and I knew another Last Resort would finish me, but I knew I would get to it first. But of course, I knew he would be going for Foul Play, which I think would have finished me as well. But I managed to get to the Last Resort and actually take that win. I cannot believe I won that one. I did not think I was going to win it. But I could have stayed in with my Umbreon against his Raichu instead of switching out into my Alolan Ninetales, and then I would have had Alolan Ninetales against his Umbreon, and I would have had a better matchup. But I switched out immediately. A lot of these games, I was just doing blind switches just to see how it would do, because I don't like falling behind on energy. But it ended up working out because we still won, but I feel like I would have won more comfortably had I not switched Umbreon out into Alolan Ninetales against the Raichu, if that makes sense. It should make sense. But either way, we're going to go ahead and get off Foul Plays against this Raichu. he will opt to shield that. Totally fine with me. We're going to go ahead and take this attack, expecting a wild charge. Let's see if it is. It is. But we're still able to survive it. He actually switches out into Umbreon. I do another blind switch into my B-Barrel, and not really a good matchup for me at all. So basically my plan was, okay, yeah, he is down a shield, which is good. That's what I do have going for me. So I'm going to go ahead and go for Surf against his B-Bell. As I said, my plan is just to do as much damage to this Umbreon as possible, because Umbreon is very difficult to deal with. Of course, unless, I guess, you have a Charm user. And I'm trying to get to another Surf. We just about get to it. Snow, not doing a lot of damage. It's a good move. It's just not doing a lot of damage. And he'll be able to feint me down. We feint down literally right afterwards. Kind of funny. But then I'm thinking about it. I decided to bring in my Umbreon to get off a Foul Play. So we are successfully able to get off that Foul Play, which is nice. It will knock out the Umbreon. And I'm still up a shield. I still have 2 shields, so we'll see. And then he brings in his Vaporeon, and unfortunately, we cannot get to a Foul Play. I bring in Skunk Tank, and this is going to be a tough battle. Let's see. I do go ahead and shield that one, and it is an Aqua Tail. I knew I had to start using my shields. He brings in Raichu, and I'm like, okay, I'm not going to, I'm going to shield this, but I'm not going to use my charge moves. I guess he was trying to catch a crunch, but I was like, I could feint this with Poison Jab. So we have energy ready to go. And of course, I knew he had a shield. So I did have to burn that shield, expecting him to shield right there, but he decides not to. I get off another crunch, and I knew he had the shield at this point. There was no way around it. He 100% had the shield, as he did. And I'm like, okay, let me get to a crunch, or let me feint him, whichever comes first, right? He gets off a charge move. It is a last resort, and we go down. Very close game. I was so close, man. I was so close. I thought that Skunk Tank was going to pull it around, but it didn't. He does win that, so very nice, very nice. And we do have one more game for you. I do lead with my Suicune, and he leads with Skunk Tank. Finally, not leading with that Raichu, right? And right now, just charging up. I believe I charge up for the Hydro Pump. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and take this move, knowing full well that it's a crunch. Doing a good amount of damage. He switches out into Vaporeon. I go for the Hydro Pump because at this point I knew he wouldn't shield, because he knows even if it's a Hydro Pump, he could take it relatively well. So as you can see, he did take it. So yeah, anyway, we go ahead and get hit by this Aqua Tail and almost get to another Bubble Beam to lower his attack, but not the case. I do bring in my Umbreon right now, and I'm just charging up some energy. We are going to be hit with an Aqua Tail right now, but Umbreon can take it, and then we're going to go ahead, charge up a little bit extra, and get off this Foul Play. Let's see what happens. It is going to knock out Vaporeon. He opts not to use a shield. So let's see what comes in. I'm hoping a Charm user does not come in, like Alolan Ninetales, which is his only Charm user. He brings in Umbreon. Now, I did not want to switch into Alolan Ninetales because I knew he would switch out, and I need that Ninetales for the Umbreon. There was no other way I was going to win. So my plan was to, okay, he has 2 shields. I'm not going to be able to take both those shields. I'm going to have to feint him with fast moves, and the only way I had a chance of doing that was with Charm because of how much damage it does. So my plan was to, I figured he wouldn't shield any of these last resorts, get as much damage as possible onto this Umbreon, and then come in and finish Umbreon with my Charm, Alolan Ninetales, and my 2 shields, and then I could just charm down whatever's in the back, hopefully, and just shield whatever charge moves he decides to throw at me, because I'm not going to have to worry about burning his shield. So I definitely want to keep my shields for the Alolan Ninetales, so I'm going to let Umbreon go down right now, and let's see if the plan works. I bring it in, and I feint down Umbreon, and he brings in Skunk Tank, and I know I have this in the bag now because he can get off his charge moves. Yes, I have 2 shields, so I could block both of them. I think he only gets off 1, but either way, I block that crunch. Charm is just going to be able to feint Skunk Tank, and we're going to take that game. So that will be it for this video, guys. I will see you in the next one. Have a good day. Bye.